Tonight, America is mourning. We didn't just lose a star, we lost a legend, a piece of history.
Corey Parker's story begins not on a grand stage, but in quiet homes and bustling sets, where cameras captured the innocence of childhood. Born into a family tied to the entertainment world, he first appeared before audiences almost as soon as he could walk. The soft glow of studio lights became a familiar companion, and the click of cameras, a rhythm that would follow him throughout his life. One might ask, how does a child navigate fame before understanding the world around them? For Corey, that question shaped both his growth and his path. By age 6, Corey was already appearing in small commercials, his expressive eyes and natural charm catching the attention of casting directors. Neighbors remember a shy boy who would burst into laughter on set, yet at home he longed for the simple joys of playgrounds and friends outside the lens. These early experiences gave him a unique perspective, an understanding that each scene captured was a fragment of a larger story, and every role was a doorway into another world. Yet beneath the smiling exterior, the pressures of expectation quietly grew. As he moved into television roles, Corey's talent became undeniable. Guest appearances on popular series brought him recognition, yet the intensity of long hours and adult expectations weighed heavily. He had this way of making everyone around him feel like they were part of the scene, a former director recalled, voice tinged with admiration. Even as a child, he understood empathy and timing in a way most grown actors never do. These words echo the truth that Corey's gifts extended beyond mere performance. He connected with people, translating emotion through subtle gestures and pauses. Transitioning from child actor to adolescent roles is often a perilous path, but Corey approached it with quiet determination. The industry is known for its fleeting attention, yet he sought projects that resonated with him personally. Behind the scenes, he developed a deep appreciation for storytelling itself, studying scripts and observing directors, absorbing lessons on patience and authenticity. "I always wanted to understand why a story mattered, not just how to perform it," Corey once shared in an interview. This dedication reflected a maturity beyond his years, a commitment to craft rather than fame alone. Off-screen, Corey navigated the complexities of growing up under public eyes. High school brought ordinary challenges, friendships, first heartbreaks, and self-discovery. Yet for Corey, each moment was colored by a sense of responsibility, an awareness that his life, however private, was often glimpsed by fans and observers. He found solace in quiet hobbies, from sketching to music, small refuges that allowed him to breathe amid the demands of a public life. Friends describe him as reflective, often listening more than speaking, yet when he shared thoughts, they carried weight and kindness. Corey's adult years brought a richer tapestry of experiences. Film and television projects became more selective, allowing him to explore meaningful roles rather than sheer visibility. Directors admired his ability to adapt, to inhabit characters fully without losing the essence of himself. Colleagues frequently spoke of his humility. Working with Corey felt like collaborating with someone who truly respected the craft, one co-star said. He never demanded attention, he earned it quietly through dedication and heart. These quiet triumphs formed a legacy less about headlines and more about genuine artistry. Despite a life shaped by cameras, Corey remained connected to those closest to him. Family gatherings, late-night conversations, and shared laughter offered grounding in a world that often celebrated image over substance. Social media tributes following his passing reveal the impact he had on peers, fans, and mentors alike. Messages speak of warmth, generosity, and a rare authenticity. "Corey reminded me why I loved acting," one fan wrote. "He made you believe in stories again and in people." Such reflections offer a glimpse into the lasting influence of a life lived both in the spotlight and quietly beside it. Looking back, Corey Parker's journey is a portrait of balance. Talent nurtured by discipline, creativity guided by humility, and fame navigated with care. His story invites us to consider the hidden layers behind each public face. The human moments that rarely make headlines but define a life. The sets, the scripts, and the cameras were merely a backdrop for a larger narrative. A life filled with learning, connection, and the pursuit of meaningful expression. Even as audiences remember his roles, those who knew him remember the laughter, the listening, and the depth of character that shaped him. In reflecting on Corey's life, One sees the gentle power of consistency, the beauty of pursuing one's passions with authenticity, and the courage to grow amid public scrutiny. His legacy is a quiet inspiration, a reminder that behind every performance is a person navigating both joy and challenge. As stories and memories continue to circulate, Corey Parker's life endures, not only in the frames of film and television but in the hearts of those who glimpsed the warmth and sincerity he carried. In that enduring presence we find both sorrow and gratitude, a testament to a life that truly began and thrived in the spotlight. The news of Ronnie Eldridge's passing arrives with quiet gravity. Touching the streets of New York, she walked with purpose. For those who knew her work, her presence was unmistakable, a voice that demanded attention, yet spoke with clarity and calm. How does one person shape the conversation of a city? And what does it take to turn persistent advocacy into lasting change? Ronnie's life provides an answer that slowly unfolds with each story shared and each memory recalled. Born in an era of social transformation, Ronnie Eldridge grew into a world brimming with questions about equality and justice. From early on, she recognized the power of words, using them to illuminate issues others might avoid. Her initial steps into public life came through journalism, where she dissected the fabric of civic life in New York City with precision and empathy. Colleagues remember her desk covered in notes, newspapers, and photographs, each a piece of a puzzle she hoped would inspire reflection. By the time she moved into activism, Ronnie had already built a reputation for thoughtful insight. She challenged inequities not with anger, but with a deliberate voice that invited dialogue. She had a way of making you think twice about what you believed, a fellow activist recalled. Ronnie didn't just argue, she made you feel the weight of the issue. Her presence at rallies, council meetings, and public forums became emblematic of a city striving to reconcile its ideals with its realities. Each speech, each discussion, was a layer in a broader narrative of civic responsibility. Television offered her a new platform, and Ronnie embraced it with the same quiet determination she brought to the streets. Interviews and panel discussions allowed her to reach audiences beyond the city's boroughs. Viewers recall her calm composure, the steadiness of her gaze, and the careful cadence of her voice. She asked questions that lingered in the mind. What is fairness in a modern city? How can citizens hold institutions accountable? By framing debates with intelligence and care, she inspired thoughtful engagement rather than fleeting outrage. Yet behind the public figure was a woman deeply committed to connection. Family, friends, and protégés remember her not only for her ideas but for her listening ear and generosity of spirit. She often mentored young activists, sharing lessons about persistence and patience. Ronnie taught me that change doesn't happen overnight, one mentee shared. It is the daily small acts of courage that build a better city. Through these personal interactions, her influence extended beyond headlines, leaving an imprint on the hearts and minds of those who carried her guidance forward. Ronnie's work was not without challenge. She faced opposition, skepticism, and the fatigue that accompanies tireless advocacy. Yet her resilience remained steadfast, grounded in the belief that civic participation was a responsibility, not a privilege. Her efforts spanned decades, touching campaigns, education initiatives, and civic reforms. Through each endeavor, she revealed that meaningful change often requires both vision and unwavering commitment, a lesson she lived every day. Social media and public tributes following her passing paint a portrait of widespread respect and admiration. Messages highlight her courage, intellect, and the genuine care she demonstrated. One journalist wrote, "Ronnie Eldridge reminded us that democracy is not just a system. It is a practice of attention, empathy, and action." Another tribute noted her ability to make complex issues approachable, turning abstract policy debates into conversations that anyone could engage with. These reflections reveal a life devoted to clarity, fairness, and inclusion. In looking back, Ronnie Eldridge's legacy is both tangible and enduring. From civic reforms to inspired individuals, her contributions ripple through New York City and beyond. She exemplified the quiet power of persistence, the capacity to challenge injustice with reasoned thought, and the importance of holding one's community close while striving for progress. As we remember her life, her example continues to spark reflection. What does it mean to live fully in service of justice, and how might each of us carry forward the values she championed? Ronnie Eldridge leaves behind a model of thoughtful activism, a reminder that voices of conscience shape not only policy but the character of a city. Her story encourages us to engage, to question, and to act with care. In honoring her memory, we find both gratitude and inspiration, a gentle call to participate in the ongoing work of building fairness, empathy, and civic courage. Her voice may have fallen silent, but the echoes of her commitment endure in every street she walked and every mind she touched. The quiet hum of an empty hockey arena carries a different weight today. Fans may no longer see him skating across the ice, but Troy Murray's presence lingered in every corner of the rink he once called home. How does an athlete's influence stretch beyond goals and assists? And what does it mean to leave a mark on a city, a team, and a sport? Troy's story answers these questions slowly, layer by layer, revealing the heart behind the helmet. Born in Alberta, Canada, Troy grew up surrounded by frozen ponds and the crisp scent of winter. Hockey was more than a pastime, it was a way of life. Neighbors remember a boy who rose before dawn to practice shots, his determination already evident in small, tireless routines. His journey from those quiet outdoor rinks to the bright lights of the National Hockey League was fueled by persistence and an unwavering focus on his craft. It was clear early on that Troy was driven not just by talent, but by a relentless work ethic. As he entered professional hockey, Troy's style of play earned immediate respect. Teammates admired his consistency, his ability to lead without fanfare, and his willingness to shoulder responsibility in critical moments. Troy never sought the spotlight for himself, a former teammate recalled. He led by example, pushing everyone around him to be better. That quiet leadership became a defining characteristic, a trait that would follow him long after he left the ice. During his years with the Chicago Blackhawks, Troy became more than a player. He was a symbol of dedication and resilience. Fans recall his intensity during games, the way he seemed to anticipate every play, and the steady composure he carried under pressure. Yet beyond the rink he remained approachable, sharing time with young players and offering guidance to those navigating the challenges of professional sports. He understood that influence extended beyond statistics, rooted in mentorship, integrity, and personal example. After retiring from professional play, Troy transitioned seamlessly into broadcasting, lending his voice and insights to Chicago Blackhawks fans. His commentary reflected both technical mastery and deep emotional understanding of the game. Listeners often remarked on his ability to capture the thrill of a breakaway or the tension of a power play, while also honoring the human stories behind each player. Troy brought the game alive for us, one longtime fan said. He reminded us why we loved hockey both on and off the ice. Even in this new role, Troy's approach mirrored the quiet, persistent energy that defined his playing career. He spoke thoughtfully, balancing critique with respect, never letting the excitement of competition overshadow the value of teamwork and sportsmanship. Behind the microphone, he continued shaping the culture of hockey, offering insights that inspired younger fans and players alike. Social media and tributes following his passing highlight not just his skills, but his warmth, humility, and commitment to the game he loved. Troy Murray's journey reminds us that true leadership is often understated. His impact was felt in locker rooms, broadcast booths, and living rooms where fans hung on his every word. He demonstrated that consistency, integrity, and mentorship create a legacy as enduring as any record or championship. Stories of his guidance and quiet encouragement reveal a man who invested in people as much as in performance, leaving lessons far beyond the scoreboard. Looking back, Troy's life embodies the spirit of perseverance and passion. From Alberta's frozen ponds to the raucous crowds of Chicago, he carried dedication, humility, and love for the sport in equal measure. His story is not just about hockey, it is about how one person can shape a community, inspire others, and create a lasting imprint through both action and example. In remembering Troy Murray, fans, colleagues, and friends find comfort in the memories of his unwavering commitment, thoughtful leadership, and joyous presence. His skates may be hung, but his influence endures, echoing in arenas, broadcasts, and hearts alike. Through every pass, every play, and every insight shared, Troy's relentless spirit lives on, a quiet but powerful testament to a life spent chasing excellence and sharing it generously with the world.